This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go. At their own 25-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3-and-out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, and you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Play action. Now Roethlisberger. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Play action. It's Roethlisberger. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. That one covers 29 yards. First down.
That's good for a Steelers first down.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. Out of the shotgun, it's Bell. About 3 yards there to the 27.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, it's Bell. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down.
No gain on the play.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. On third down, here's Bell. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. This from 44 yards away. Boswell's kick is good. Boswell signed to a 4-year deal prior to last season, but he struggled a little bit.
Yeah, do you think that they saw 13 of 20 when they signed him to a 4-year deal?
Not at all.
Needs a big bounce back in 2019 if he wants to see the end of that contract.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Bengals drive about to get going. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Stephon Tuitt able to record his 5th sack of the season. To try again after the sack. Jordan. And the catch good. It's Eifert. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Dalton here from the gun. And this is going to be incomplete. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
It'll be a 48-yard punt, 5 there on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And you're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45 and to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
At the 43-yard line.
Hands up. Lead. Regular.
Their D gets the INT. Now what can Dalton do? Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. So Dalton now. He's going to air it out deep for Green. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
But one thing's for sure, when you've got a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. Punting now is Huber as he sends it away. A 40-yard punt, give him 3 on the return, and the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
12 yards that time, but a Pittsburgh first.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
All right, now, 230. Mike is a 50. Check Mike 50. Not here.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half.
Here we go. Jim.
Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. The Bengals drive about to get going. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
From the 31, Dalton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Hayward just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
And Eifert has it. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one good for 24 yards. Andy Dalton looked good on that pass, but I'll tell you what, all time in his career against Pittsburgh, it has been a struggle. 3-12 as a starter against these Steelers. Just more evidence of their dominance over the years in the AFC North. Here's a run on first down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Right there, 54, right there, 54. 368! Over here.
Out of the gun, it's Dalton. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field, and that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Andy Dalton. And that will be incomplete. It appears they're going to come up empty on this first drive of the second half, still down by that slim margin.
Yeah, and that's okay. You know, when you sit and analyze it, they're not happy about what happened, having to go to the bench. But this gives them a chance to let their defense do some work, while they on the sidelines go over what they're doing offensively and formulate a proper plan.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
On 2nd and 7, Roethlisberger, open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster. He's at the 30, 10, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Juju Smith-Schuster, 77 yards. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Boswell good with the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Bengals drive about to get going. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 10 yards there on a Bengal first.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. Dalton now to pass. That's complete to the tight end Sample. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 36. Now Dalton. He's got Green. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. Andy Dalton now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now Joe Mixon. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. Again, it's Mixon. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 5 yards will get him back to the original line of scrimmage, but now they're looking at 3rd and 10. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
Come on, man. Let's go! Ready?
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Calais Campbell, his 2nd sack of the night. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here? In a long-distance situation, do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Calais Campbell bringing the pressure yet again. That's his 3rd sack here tonight. Here's Jordan Berry now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. This is fielded at the 27. Fights through, and now a crease. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And the Bengals will take over in terrific field position. Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on to the contact. Brings up 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult 3rd down call now.
Here's Dalton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Hayward able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets 1st downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those 1st downs, keep possession of the football.
It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh 1st.
1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. 6 guys, check 6 guys. Check your hot read.
Now Roethlisberger going to hand to Bell. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 2nd and 12. They'll go again with Bell. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave them with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
On 3rd down, Bell. 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Roethlisberger going top shelf for Smith, and this is caught inside the 5. A big play. Smith-Schuster on the throw from Big Ben. 55 yards. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal as they search for what could be a game-sealing touchdown. Bell, and he is going to lose yardage here. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. They'll try again with Bell. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. This Bengal defense, they passed the first 2 tests. Now it's 3rd and goal. Here's Bell. fighting him off. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. Now the Bengals going to signal for their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And Boswell's kick is good. And they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. So his second field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the fourth quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
The Bengals take over first and 10 at their own 20.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
A good pickup there, 21 yards.
And the Bengals first down.
All right, here's Dalton. To the left side here for Eifert. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. From midfield here, Dalton. And he whips that one incomplete there. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
To throw here, Dalton. He's got his man, Boyd. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46.
First down, Cincinnati.
Big spot, Andy Dalton. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
So now Dalton. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the fourth quarter,